So the resources that I'm using with this activity come from hubbardscupboard.org, and there's a phonics tab, and underneath it there's word families, and I can put the link to find this directly as well, so you can go directly to it. But when you go there, you get, I think that's, yep, autofocus, I hope. You get 4 pages of pictures, and then you get the words that go along with it. So this is the AM word family, also called Rime or Rime units, Rime, a little differently than what you probably think of as rhyme. Um, but in the AM word family or rhyme units, we have clam, ham, yam, jam, and ram. And then you have an word family or rhyme units and pan, man, etc. And as you can tell, these are the words that go along with it: clam, ham, yam, etc. So that's what you get from that Hubbard's cupboard. I added another page because I wanted to do something extra with it that they did not have. Um, so this is what I created, and just if you want to create it, it's Comic Sans in 60 font. I got it under, I made it in Google Docs on a table or chart or whatever it is. I can't remember what it is. So anyway, but these are the rhymes or the words, word families, and then I have the vowels that I have with that. So I laminate all of those, and then I don't cut my pictures pages. I keep those intact, but I do cut the word pictures and my homemade stuff here. Whoops, bumping that. So this is just a small sample. There's actually quite a bit more cards than this, but just to show you what I do with kids, I just kind of made a smaller amount. But I would have all of the cards here, and then I would pull out the vowels. A, E, I, O, and U. And now I would do this if I have a kiddo who ever does not get the vowel, short vowel correct. Like they may read this as pup occasionally, even if it's just once in a blue moon. They may read this as sob or whatever. They're not 100% super solid. I could wake them up out of a deep sleep and they're going to get that short vowel 99.9% of the time. If they're not at that point, I would not skip this step. Okay, and it goes pretty quickly. But I would have all of the cards here, and beforehand, and what they're going to do is they're going to sort the cards by the vowel sound. So all they're going to say on this first step is the vowel sound, ah, etc. I, ah, I. So once they do that, by the way, ahead of time, I would have them guess, okay, which letter do you think is going to win? Which one is going to have the most cards at the end? And I'll tell you the answer is A, but I always pick O or something else because I want them to have a chance at winning. But for whatever reason, that makes this a big, big deal, and they really like it. Like, I kind of go from saying, oh my gosh, I have to do all of these cards to go to worrying about which letter is actually winning. And so I'm going to pause it and show you what it looks like after it's all done. I don't think I mentioned that I would time them when they're sorting by vowel sounds, and kind of have data down somewhere beforehand. You can note how accurate it was, how many they may have missed out of them, but how quickly they did it as well. And then after you do some work with them, you can do a little bit of a post to see if their fluency and or accuracy have increased. So it's good information for you or for RTI or for whatever. So I don't let them, they want to count these, by the way, to see who really won, but I just obviously would let them just, I don't have time for that. If you want to practice counting, you could, but they can just compare the stacks. And as I said, A wins, but not by much. So, all right, so after it's at that point, the next thing I would do is, and we'll do this example with E, I would pull, again, E's shortest, so we're going to do that. And then I would pull out my E word families or my E rhymes. And now I want them to sort them by the word family or by the rhyme. And they're only going to say N or et. So, et. I'm going to pull that out for a second, talk about it in a second. Et, N, et, N, et, N. Now, why do this? In the book Equipped for Reading Success by David Kilpatrick, he has poured over thousands of research articles on how we learn to read and what's best for teaching kids to read, etc. And one thing he talks about a lot, or rhymes or word families like this, and that even in longer multisyllabic words, our eyes are drawn to this part of the word. So if I had the word jettison, in that first syllable, jet, so jet, my eyes will process and read and understand the et portion of it first. And then, it's just that's important for us with reading. So that's why I do this step as well. So I did want to show you this, something that I've seen kids do time and time again, especially struggling readers or kids who have trouble with directionality. They might have this word and it belongs here, right? But they very well may put it here. And why is that? Well, if you read it this way, which is the way we're supposed to read it, it would be et. But if they're not super solid on left to right, and this again happens quite a bit with my kindergarten and my first graders, they may read it this way, N. And so that is a good information to go, okay, got to really talk to that kiddo about left to right, knowing that vowels go that way, etc. So once they are sorted, then we get out our sound pictures. Our words are hard. Then we get out our picture pages and we actually have them do it by the whole word. So if I have a kiddo a little bit more struggling, I might keep them in their different piles and have them do all of the ets first and then do all of the ends. If it's a kiddo who doesn't need as much support, then I might just mix them. Okay, so think about your kid and how much support they might need. So you would have them say the word net, jet, net. Didn't do much good job of shuffling, 10, hen, etc. And so for whatever reason, they really, really like doing all of this activity. And if I have multiple kids, and you can do this with a group, like I have groups of 5 and sometimes 6, what I will do is I will have the word pages, I keep saying the wrong thing, the picture pages at a separate table across my room. I will have all of the word cards with me, and they get in line. And so Bobby Joe comes up, he has to read it, men, he takes it over and puts it on the appropriate picture, then he goes to the back of the line. The next person's reading it, met, and it's fast. Kid reads, go. Kid reads, and they go. Kid reads, and they go. And again, they really, really like that too. So I think this is a good activity that has a lot of things that you can do with it. I will say one thing about some of the words in here, just to kind of keep in mind. See if I can find this one. So here's 2. So again, think about your students and what they've been taught and what they know, and or how strong they are. So these 3 words are different complexities. This word is a simple consonant, vowel, consonant word. Right? So that's the simplest of the words that are in here, simplest type of word. This is what we call a consonant blend. It would be this is CVC, or consonant, vowel, consonant. This is a CCVC. And so they have to say st, up, 2 consonants together. They have to blend those sounds, and that's tricky. So this is quite a bit more difficult. So if you have an individual kiddo that struggles, I might pull that aside and we'll work on that later. I want them to be quicker and doing a lot of practice, and then at the end we'll pull any consonant blends in and work on them. And then this is what they call a consonant digraph, and a digraph is when you have 2 letters that come together to make one sound. So in this case, 2 letters are SH, but we only say one sound. And if they've not been taught SH, I may take that out completely and not even deal with it, or I might at the end touch on it, tell them the word, and let them put it on there. So also just be aware of your kids, their needs, their skills, and the complexity of the words that they're working with.